Well, apparently I stole the gas cap off of this thing to put on something else and haven't replaced it. I don't use that tank. That old tank was pretty rusted up, full of junk, and I just kept having trouble with it. So I just put this little plastic tank on there. And consequently, the fuel pump is really easy to get to. And I was told by a YouTube subscriber, and sometimes you can prime those fuel pumps when they're not picking up, and that thing's been sitting out there so long, you know, it just clatters, but it doesn't ever pick up fuel. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try and prime it. I'm going to take it loose up here and pour some gas down in there and see what happens. But if it doesn't work, it's real easy to get to, so I can swap it out. I'm going to have to replace the coil. The coil was gone off this thing when I went to start it up, and I don't remember why it's gone off of this, but I borrowed one off the Rockabilly to put on here until I got this one truck moved. And then I wanted to drive the Rockabilly, so I came and got the coil back off of this and put it back on the Rockabilly. But I got a couple of, let's see, we got a ballast resistor here or no? I don't see a resistor on this thing, so I was thinking there would be, should be, could be, I don't know. What do I know? It's enough to be dangerous. Well, this one's for an external resistor, but I've got one in there that's not required. Actually, though, the one on the Rockabilly was an external resistor coil. Am I looking at it and can't see it? Should be right there on the firewall somewhere. Should be easy enough, but well, anyway, I'm gonna stick a coil on there and see what happens. And I'm gonna borrow a battery out of old Jimmy Hoffa. Man, I just can't afford to buy batteries for these rigs all the time. Batteries are so expensive, and I got so many rigs, and you know, I either got to get rid of some or just, you know, borrow batteries and keep going. So anyway, I'm going to see what I can get done here with my little handy Rockabilly Rat toolkit. I got about everything in here a fella could use. You know, I got some tape, and I got some wire, and I got some baling wire, and I got another coil of that down the bottom because I use a lot of it. And yeah, I got a pretty good little toolkit here. So let's put a coil in this thing and see what happens. Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Waylon Myers' Old Iron. I think it's about time we fire up old Fred. That would be this guy back here, or wherever. It's supposed to be behind me somewhere. Right now it's just green, but by the time you see it, Fred will be there. Brakes. We don't need no stinking brakes.
Hey, welcome to Rat Rodding. My name's Waylon Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel.
I hope this battery's got some juice in it. Probably not, but we'll see. This says no external resistor required. No, resistor's been bypassed. Probably ought to slap some tape on that, reckon. It's just a bare wire hanging down there. I don't know if I was in the shot or not, but anyway, yeah, this wire coming to the coil, seen its better days, and it's been unresisted, I guess. Well, I guess the first thing I'll do is see if the battery's got anything in it. And then I'll try and prime that fuel pump. I think this is a little chainsaw gas. That'll be real good for it. Got a little Earl in it. I'm gonna pour it all over the place, but that makes it more exciting. You know, when you get ready to fire it up, you get some on the plugs and the wires, and I'm sure there's sparks shooting everywhere. I don't know. A little bit in there. There's a fire extinguisher over there on the post. That does not sound too promising to me. I'm not gonna fool with it. I'm just gonna swap out that fuel pump. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna mess with it. Well, let's see if I've got enough tools in this little kit here to remove this fuel pump. Somebody robbed the 2-speed axle out of this thing, and or maybe it's just not hooked up. Huh. I don't know. It had a vacuum 2-speed at one time. All the hoses are here and everything, but oh boy, had this truck. He might just unhook that 2-speed if it wasn't working right or something. They did an engine swap on this thing. It's got a really, really good 235 in it. Would have originally been a 6-cylinder, I mean a 216. What am I thinking? 6-cylinder. But anyway, it's got a good 235 in it. Man, it's tight. It is a good motor. And oh boy, had the truck. Had a little orchard up there in Aniat, about a mile up the river. And that's all he did was drive that 1 mile to the packing shed with his fruit. Usually 6 bins at a time, 6 or 8. Whatever they pick in a day, you know, just 1 or 2 people. So, little farms, those little farms, you know, I think he had about, I don't know, 5-7 acres, something like that. Now those little farms are pretty much all gone, swallowed up. Unless somebody's got a little hobby farm or something. Just can't make it on that anymore. Used to, you could make a real good living, make a lot of money on 20 acres back in the 70s, 80s. But when the bottom fell out of the market for the red delicious apple, things got tight. Things changed. All right, I'm gonna clip that wire, and it's an old wore out crafting knife. How you like that, Mike Overhaul? Mike Overall, however you say it. Yeah, I'm just gonna clip that wire and go get me a fuel pump. I'll be back. Well, I'm gonna flip the switch and I'll leave you guys under here, and you guys tell me what it sounds like. If it sounds like it's gonna push fuel or not. Well, I think it sounds better. Well, what I discovered was a pinhole in the fuel line between the tank and the fuel pump had stinking ethanol gas, you know? It's done it to us again. I'm running out of battery in mine. Yeah, that carburetor's not quite idling real good. have 0 brakes, no pedal. For those who might not know, on these old Chevys, the master cylinder is under the floor on the driver's side, and this is the starter, foot starter. Just push on that. It's real handy because you can push on the gas and the starter at the same time. And well, sometimes these things are tricky. So, and somebody's put a new floor pan in over there because originally the battery would have been under that floor pan. There was a little trap door that had a handle that lifted up and you twist it, and that's how you got to the battery. So let's put some brake fluid in this thing, see what happens. I don't have real high hopes. Probably have to bleed the brakes, but sometimes you can pump them up, you know. Okay, see if we can pour this from 2 feet high and left-handed. Hey, I got some of it in the cylinder. Not much, but a little bit. This thing, when you start up, the needle on that oil pressure gauge just pegs, man. She got really good oil pressure. It's a good motor. This is that old 2-speed axle control, vacuum 2-speed. I'm wondering if it's just not hooked up. Alright, this thing will start. Well, it'll start, but if it's got any brakes, we'll see. If it does, we'll pull it around there and wash the windshield. Vice grip garage. It's what I grew up with on these old Chevys. They all had door handles like that, or window cranks. Yeah, okay. No brakes, no lights, no license plate, no signal lights. Last time I had license was in 1999. And I used to drive this thing to town all the time. When I first got this place, if I needed a load of lumber or metal or whatever, man, I'd run this thing into town and it just runs so nice. And I was proud of it, boy. This old truck, I still like it. It's just sentimental, you know, but brakes, lights, turn signals, license plates, all that stuff's overrated. I don't need that. Well, she's hard to steer. fast. Oh boy. Well, Fred, rest easy, my old friend. Next thing I got to do is go out there and get that Impala out of storage. Been sitting there all winter since October when I got back from my 7,000-mile journey. And I need to go get that thing and bring it around and wash it, get it cleaned up a little bit, because I'm going to take a young lady to lunch tomorrow, and she has no idea how styling she's going to be when I pull up in that Impala. It's going to hit her like a ton of bricks. She's going to say, "Oh my goodness, look, would you look at that? Would you just look at that?"
You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, "Would you look at that?"
I guess the first thing I need to do probably is try and get that stuff off the back windshield, or the back window. But kind of hate to take it off, man. That's some wonderful memories right there. But I will. It don't do anything to class up the vehicle, so it was fun on the trip. But I guess it's time to get it off there. All right, I'm not going to bore you with making you watch me wash this car. You can go watch our Peak. He washes his cars on camera.
I mean, just look at it.
You know, this old Dirty Dozen here is this is kind of unique. I just love this. If you look right here, y'all can see this. Right there it says front. And then it says right here, it says firing order. And it's 14985211110367112. That's the firing order on this thing. And one thing that I've never done a compression test on it. But when it runs, it kind of pops and backfires, and part of that could be because of these short pipes, you know, but I kind of suspect that maybe it's got some bad valves, you know, burnt valves. I don't know, but I'm gonna run a compression test on it. I mean, if it does have bad valves, I've got some more of these heads out there, and if they're bad on this, I probably need to get those heads rebuilt, put them on there. The head gaskets off the 351 V6 fits it, and they're still available. Matter of fact, I bought some. I saw them on eBay and I snagged them. I snag things once in a while when I see them, like points for that old 32 engine over there, things like that. But yeah, I kind of just curious. I'm just curious what the compression is on this thing, and probably got a bad hole in it because of the way it runs, but we'll see. Nothing we can't fix, right? Plugs look good. I'm going to see if I can just hold these on the hole and get a reading. If I can't get a straight shot down in there, then I can put this flex line in there, but then I have to screw it in and out every time, which might not be a bad idea anyway. I think there's a couple of them I'm not going to be able to get to real well to hold it on the hole. Don't know if I can get a reading. Give it a shot and see what happens. Okay, we'll call that number 1 on the right bank, just for simplicity. Wow. 150 pounds. No, 150 pounds. Nothing wrong with that. I don't think. You can tell me if you think there's something wrong with that, but I don't think so. This one, yeah, maybe I can get it in there. I'm gonna get a pad and pen. Gotta get this so you can see it. $130. $140. I think that's a weak hole. 80 pounds. You can't get your finger down in there far enough to cover the hole. Ah. No, all she's got's 90. Oh yeah, 150. Boy, that one's got lots of juice. Okay, just as I suspected. She got a couple bad valves leaking by. Pretty bad. So I've got those other heads out there. I probably need to round up all 4 of those heads and try to get them rebuilt. Boy, that ain't gonna be cheap, is it? Anyway, we got on this bank, we got 150, 120, 140, 140, 90, and 150. The other side, we got 150, 140, 120, 150, 80, and 120. So that 80 hole and that 90 hole, that's too bad, but that's about what I expected. Somebody had the foresight to put some anti-seize on these plugs, and whoever that was, I want to say thank you, because they come out real easy. Make sure I'm not cross-threading anything. All right, y'all don't have to watch me put these plugs back in. I'll spare you that. All right, fellas, that'll do it for another one. We'll see you real soon right back here on Waylon Wires Old Iron. And until we do, you know I sure do appreciate you.